Hi, welcome back everyone to TVI. Carl Donnelly here.
Julian Deane.
And guest returning live.
Yeah.
Last time you were on Zoom, Scott
with
Bennett.
Hello.
You actually, we recorded 2 last time on Zoom. Do you remember one was unusable? There was an issue with the sound.
It was like a weird
Swear words.
No, there was weird.
It was all that racist stuff you said. We thought we better cut it out.
It doesn't fit your persona at all.
You had your swastika up behind you the whole time.
I mean, you disarmed me, and it all just came out. I think it was lockdown. I was in the shed. I felt like I was in a bunker.
Exactly.
I felt safe. I thought, this is the time to air my views next to some chipboard.
We were just saying that just before we hit record, we did a Patreon episode that went out on Sunday. It's the first time we've had to. Normally, we cut stuff out of this episode. If they are borderline libel. Right.
We put it on
Patreon. We've got this sort of circle of trust with our patrons that they won't tell anyone or screenshot it. But it's the first time ever we've had to snip something out of a Patreon episode for the Sunday one.
Only because it was
proper
career ending.
Yeah.
Even the risk of somebody.
It wasn't that it was offensive career ending.
To us.
It was that it was kind of libel, wasn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
We didn't realise until afterwards.
You would have sued us, Scott.
Oh, and I also accidentally dobbed in a mate of ours over some private life.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Anyway,
wow.
But
now we're back on form. We're not going to say anything that's going to get us in trouble.
And if you can't keep secrets, don't sign up to our Patreon. Please.
Yeah. But
Thank
if you
you.
can, if you want to join the circle of trust. For only £3 a month. Oh, it's £2 a month.
£2 a month, yeah.
And you've just
we're undercutting everyone else.
Is that true? Well, I don't know what other patrons are.
About $5,000 a month. Mate.
Okay.
You've got to keep them sweet now. The power's shifted to them.
I mean, ultimately, the fact that we have named comedians in stories on our Patreon, they have somewhat got some control over us now.
Yeah, they could.
Wow.
The danger is one of those comedians signs up and then we're fucked. Imagine paying £5, because there are different tiers, but imagine paying a £5 a month to get people digging you out online.
Every week, just abuse. That's going to be some awkward green rooms, isn't it, for you guys?
It would be fun, though, if we picked, not in a bullying way, but if we picked a comedian to keep referencing and always snip the name out of this, put it on Patreon.
Yeah.
How long would it take to get back to them for them to sign up to see what's going down?
You'd have someone mapping it out at home, like a like a
Corpse
criminal.
A beautiful mind. Post-it notes.
He's 47, is he, and married? Okay, start googling shit.
That would describe every Jongleurs comic in the 90s.
Has he got no mortgage? Did he? 76 gigs between Thursday and Sunday.
We were talking about that recently. That sort of sometimes when you meet a comedian who had the heyday of comedy, and they're sort of quite bitter about a bunch of younger acts getting TV opportunities now, and you're saying to you do realise you were making more money than them in the 90s.
You bought 2 flats in
your own,
Soho.
Yeah, exactly. And
Knightsbridge.
And now there's people that are on telly regularly that still have to rent. You know what I mean? Just so everyone knows, the TV money isn't what it used to be. That's the reality, isn't it?
Glory days are over.
They are. You might get the odd nice big payday, but it's not sort of used to be. I reckon if you're on a telly in like the 70s.
You're on a yacht, aren't you? Now you're like signing on. You just declared it £500.
Oh God, yeah, you can't stay on the yacht because you got to get up for Asda.
Exactly. Drive your van from the dock.
Oh dear.
Since we last saw you, you have actually done some television.
Yeah.
You went on live at the Apollo.
Yes.
That was nice, fun.
It was good fun, yeah. Unexpectedly good.
Did you have you watched it back? Do you watch yourself back on stuff?
I struggled with it. Well, at first, obviously, it wasn't aired when it should have been aired.
Of course, this is it. You were the one that was delayed because of the football.
Because of Stockport County and Bolton Wanderers. So my kids now think I play up front. they're like, Dad's quite good in the air.
Not to get sort of Premier League pretentious,
Yeah.
but that's not a glory fixture to delay your debut on television.
Not? Well, and also from Yorkshire, they brought 2 Lancastrian teams,
God.
and they bumped my big moment.
It almost
And
feels
when
like
did it get
was on
bumped to?
purpose.
The following
The
evening?
following evening, yeah.
So what day was that?
It was like it should have been the 17th of November, but it went out on the 18th.
So a weekday.
Yeah, but I didn't.
No, it's just important.
Just take away any last bit. I see how to try to redeem a little bit of shine. You went, so a week, even a weekday.
No, I thought if it got bumped to a Saturday night, or it would have been better.
No,
I reckon it'd be harder to find a slot on a weekend night. wouldn't
I
it?
think we went out just after a repeat of some, I don't know, just late night.
And the longest set is available on
iPlayer.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the interesting thing there is I struggle to. I don't like watching myself back.
No, I don't.
I feel like going, who's this dickhead?
I can't listen to myself back. You know, a bit like I would say I've recorded myself on stage at hundreds of
Same
gigs.
here.
Like
My phone's
previews,
because you know
full
it's
of them.
something you should be doing.
especially at previews, right?
And everyone's like, Carl's on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. I've never
Never listened to it.
listened to them. But
Just got voice notes, just 56, 57, just
Stick an audio
I
book
try.
on.
I genuinely try. About once every few months, I try and listen back to the. I go, right, I'm doing it this time.
Yeah.
I record. I try and start listening back, and I just can't. I can't enjoy it. I'm listening to it, thinking, what are
Nor
they
can I.
laughing at?
Yeah,
what are these idiots laughing at?
annoying, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wang it
I
on.
hate my own voice. So
Yeah.
like, I actually,
Same here.
you know, some people hate my voice, but I.
Don't send it to me. But I'll tell you what I did when I was in Edinburgh. Every night I was really disciplined with it. I think it's because I was so scared.
Yeah.
Like that helps you. It motivates you, doesn't it? And I watched my show back every single night.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
That's like
Brutal.
that's like psychopathic.
I
That is
really
actually.
enjoyed.
sort of
I just
analysis.
enjoyed
Look
the
at the
show.
way I moved my hands then.
But that's also it's such
just
a like
really enjoyed
doing
the
an
gags
hour a
in the
day.
show.
Normally, like you do the work to get there, then you do your hour, and the hour a day takes it out of you.
Yeah.
My work's done on the train there.
Driving it.
Getting real money.
I didn't like. I sometimes think I walk into the co-op. You know when you catch yourself on the CCTV,
yeah.
Clock
and
in.
I walk past and think I've got a better walk in me.
Yeah. Oh man.
Go back and do it again with a bit more confidence.
Exactly.
Strided. So I let Gemma walk. I said to Gemma, my wife's basically, she was like the canary going into the mines.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
stood
That's a good
behind
way of
the door, outside in the hallway, like with my head on the dado rail,
Yeah.
just waiting, and she was watching it, and I could hear it. She's going, "It's all right, telling me. And then I came in,
It's
and
all right.
It's
I
all
want more
right.
than
It's
that.
all right. It's okay. I mean, it's the worst thing.
No, it was okay.
It's all right. You know?
I thought it was funny. That's what you don't want.
Oh,
innit?
so
I mean,
yeah,
I liked it.
yeah. So I struggle with it.
You were
Well, I
so
think because you're always
brave.
going to be, unless you're a nutter, I think you should always be your biggest critic.
Yeah.
You know when people say like you should go
Also
and
your
yourself.
biggest
It's like, no, but-
champion.
well, no, I don't think so.
But then people think, if you're hard on yourself, people think you're doing that for them to go, "Oh no, don't be silly, you're brilliant."
Yeah,
so the
it's sort of
narcissism
fake
is
humble.
impossible to
Yeah.
to hide, isn't it?
True.
I mean, you're on telly.
I'm my own biggest critic in comedy terms. In my
You're
personal
not.
life, I let myself get away with murder. But like, in comedy, I really am quite harsh on myself.
yeah.
I just heard what you said. You're not, mate. Steve Bennett might be.
Steve Bennett in most audiences.
I think motivational speaking's a new career for you. I'd love to have Julian with me the day before Edinburgh. Fucking there's 9 people in here, mate. This is a little bit tough, this. Scotsmen are in. Well, you know, give it your best.
But
You're very brave.
it also, you focus on the wrong things when you watch yourself back. Like most people, if you look just presentable,
Yeah.
they'll then just listen to you and watch and see what happens. They'll enjoy it. But you're picking up every little thing. Oh, fuck,
Yeah.
that jacket had a little mark on it.
I was-
Everything.
Oh,
Do you know,
God.
all I can see is my sweaty head.
Totally.
Proper sweaty. And like, because I don't know what it was. I had
'cause you're
one.
working hard.
Well, no, it's because I had one piece of hair. Like that was just going,
Oh man.
and every time I watch it, I just go, sort that hair.
Yeah. That's what. That
Then
would
I have to.
eat me
I
up.
did that, and that was like, you're stupid. You're on the Apollo. Sort your hair out.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
because I think it was that moment when I was the adrenaline. I've never had that before. I had dry mouth at that gig.
Yeah.
And I've
Did you drink
never
a lot
had
of
dry
water
mouth
beforehand?
Yeah, I did everything right.
There's no amount of
But I
water
had
in the
dr-
world.
it's
Body
the-
just ain't your friend, is it? Sometimes.
Well,
It's
because
the
you're
adrenaline.
doing something so alien at that point.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is most people will never know that feeling.
Yeah.
I think we talked to Esther Manita about it when she did.
She gets like that before even.
I
any
know,
gig,
yes,
though.
yeah, but I remember because when we talked to her the week she did Apollo,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
we, on the Patreon thing, and we were talking about. I was saying how I'm the most laid back.
Yeah.
At gigs, like, I'm genuinely like
You are.
I can be.
Almost
I can be side
horizontal.
of stage at a comedy store, having a chat about a vegan lunch I had, and it'll be like, "Welcome to stage, Carl Donnelly, about back in a minute," and I can just walk on and do it. And
Yeah.
it doesn't. I'm fine like that. But the moment there's sort of a bit of what's the word?
Difference.
It's the moment it's been recorded. Like when I did the Melbourne Comedy
Yes, 'cause
Gala,
I
I've done that a couple of
yeah.
times, and that is a big, like, I think it's the same size as the Apollo, actually, 3,500, and it's televised in Australia, and it's going online. So the moment I know that other people might see this that aren't in the room, and it's big and all that, I just was side of stage for 2 or 3 minutes going, I've made every decision I've ever made that's led to this point was bad. Like, this is such a horrible. What am I doing? You start doing that thing. You're going, who do I think I am?
Yeah.
Texting your old boss. There are only vacancies.
You're on read.co.uk.
I get jealous of like the sound men and stuff, or like, I'll go in a coffee shop, get a coffee, and I'm jealous of their job.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm all adrenaline up, feared up.
Yeah, but it's just that thing. It is totally unrelated to normal gigs, I think, because there's just extra things outside of your control.
Well, it's like you feel like you're going to get found out.
Yeah,
and that's the worst thing. And it was like really dry mouth to the point where I was going. I felt like I was like trying to bring up moisture from inside.
Anything, a bit of blood, anything, please. Just piss in your mouth.
All I could think of was I was on telly just going, trying to get that out. And then
but it also does feel way worse than that sound. Like, actually, they'll be like thinking you're talking. That's just how you talk. They don't know you.
Why is he doing that? Why is he licking his own face?
Is this a new bit he does?
Why is he draining the moisture out of his eyes?
Wetting his palate.
just wringing out my socks. But then they said to me, well, you could have just stopped the record and gone and got a bottle of water. And I was like, can you imagine the balls of that? I was like, first ever bit of telly.
You're not going to.
Right, everyone, remember where you were. Can you remember where you were? Stats,
hold that laugh.
Hold that laugh. No, we're going to do this bit again. Taking over the record.
I will say,
I want a bigger laugh than last time.
And
stand there, just casually.
3,500 people just have a little sip.
Dab your mouth with a
put a kettle on.
Just.
But I did that in there's a TV show in Australia called Comedy Up Late. It's another one that happens during the comedy festival, and it's much more of like a late comedy show in a club, and I was doing it, and I was having a really good gig, and you're only doing 5 minutes, whatever, and I got to like 4 minutes, and I just fluffed a word in a bit, and it's the only time in my life I just had the sort of wherewithal. I just said to the audience, I'm going to say that word again, and they'll sort it out in the edit, and I just did it again, and then next bit, and so I knew that they'd fix it in post.
Oh, that is great.
But that's the only time I've ever done it. I've seen other people do it and think, you fucking like, how calm are you that you just done that? But it was just it was just because I was long enough into my set that I'd relaxed. And I knew what I could sort of step outside myself.
Yeah, it just feels unusual. I think it is that it never feels comfortable.
No,
I think the more you do it, it might.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't
maybe.
imagine Bishop's side of stage, fucking on applying to part-time jobs in supermarkets.
Just gets an insurance policy, that sort of thing. Finishing his CV.
Did you feel like were you present in the set when you were doing it? Were you kind of in the moment? Did you find did you relax?
I think it took about a minute. I think at first
that's a good amount of time.
Out and I was
first
like,
big laugh is what you want. Once you get a little laugh, and once you get a big laugh,
and then you sort of settle, and then I start to enjoy it. Then, and I think it actually does look like I'm enjoying it more. And also, what's interesting, the bits get a bit longer as the set goes on. So I'm always having a bit more confidence to come out the blocks punchy, and then I'm sort of like, right, I can do a bit. And it felt
that's good.
But it felt like a bit of a blur, to be honest. But
And what was the? Did you get like a bit of a? Did you have a beer afterwards?
Yeah, well, stupidly, this is the reality. I think it's because we've got two little uns.
Yeah,
I literally had to get the train. They were there with us. They were chopping lines up.
Get it ready on the mirror.
Daddy always does this when he's playing up front for Stockport County.
Gloria Dolly's
Gives
mirror.
Him that extra
Barbie mirror.
Tiny little bit, using a Barbie's hands.
Children's lines.
I literally had to have one beer and then I had to get a train. Because I had to be home to do the school run the day after.
Did the beer go right to your head though?
Yeah, and it was that sort of like...
That adrenaline beer.
Yeah. It's that...
You drink it, ground, though. You go to have a sip and you go like...
Well, I said to Gemma the other night, I was like, I think there needs to be better options for food for us for comics. Don't know if you feel say when you come off stage anywhere, the adrenaline's so and there's nothing. You're eating crap.
Yeah, it's true.
There needs to be
a green room food's never like good either, like crisps and stuff. It's not good for you to go on stage eating crisps.
Just loads of carbs and
it's
shit.
all like greasy and like
salt,
clagging. Yeah, your mouth's all fucked.
Yeah,
that's why I was
all loads of shit in your teeth.
That's what it was. I had a full bag of kettle chips. I was like, just before they went, right, you're on. As that sign came up, I threw the bag away like that. I just went, whoa, yeah, take them. Imagine just going out with that confidence.
Crisps on your face.
Can we just stop? He's got crisps on his face.
Down his top.
It's the biggest show on telly, mate, and you got crisps on your, sorry, spilt down your shirt and stuff.
Did you buy new clobber for it?
Yeah. Interestingly, I went to Paul Smith because I think I spoke to you. We were doing the store together.
Oh, it was the weekend before we did the store, yeah.
So I did the store.
Spent $7,000 on a suit.
Well, I went into Paul Smith because I thought, this has got to have to treat myself. Yeah. I never normally do it. I normally Zara or something. And then I went into Paul Smith and I didn't realise just quite the experience it would be.
You're right.
Oh, feels amazing.
Have you?
Because you have like someone starts helping.
Oh, they are very. Yeah, it's you forget. You forget because Paul Smith is one of them brands that you often just see like people at football wearing and stuff. Yeah. You sort of forget it is sort of. It's not high end, but it's in that.
It's high enough end for me.
Well,
it's high, isn't it?
It's definitely higher end than fucking your high street shop. Yeah. So you do get a better caliber of shop assistant. I will say.
But she sort of said, "Oh, what colours do you normally wear?" and stuff. I was like, I don't know. And then she
red really brings my rosy
psoriasis out. Red really complements my skin disorder. That would be wonderful if you could do that. Really get my sweaty red head is what I'm going for, like an absolute beacon, prime time beacon head. And then so I got in there, but I didn't realise once you're in there, you are sort of committed to buying something. It was dead quiet.
Yeah.
It's really awkward to go, oh shit, it's £700.
Yeah. And then you're in like this cubicle.
I've only got $250.
I've got a certain budget here. Like you haggling to buy a car. I can't go beyond $250. I'll have to go to the bank. And then, she got me into like this wooden cubicle thing. And then she sort of kept bringing clothes and bringing jackets. And like, she was like, just whatever cut feels. And I was like, it was like going shopping with your mum, when you were a kid. Yeah, and you were like, I need a 32. And she'd bring it over the top. And then I ended up, buying this jacket.
Well, that is nice, though, the fact that they just bring you it to the changing room. Yeah. I went into a shop I'd never been in a couple of weeks ago called Scotch and Soda.
I know this shop.
I didn't know much about it. I thought it was a bit like a Hollister type. And I'd heard their jeans are quite nice.
Right.
And the guy just like set me up in the changing room and just brought jeans to me in my sizes. And it was so nice.
Bring the jeans.
Yeah,
They didn't even work there.
Just wanted to keep seeing my trousers off. But
take those ones.
I didn't buy any in the end, but I didn't like the fits as much as I thought I would.
Right. Did that change then his like goodwill when you said I'm not buying anything?
Well, you could tell he was a bit like, fucking.
I've been bringing you
take all these fucking back there.
45 minutes I've been bringing you.
Fucking hang them up properly, all right?
Yeah.
It was very. They treat you well in those shops.
Yeah, and so I bought this jacket, and that was nice, and it felt nice. Bought a jacket and a shirt, but I didn't end up. I only wore the jacket. I didn't wear the.
Was it a Paul Smith bomber?
Bare chest.
I've got a Paul Smith bomber. It's lovely. It's a lovely bit of kit.
Seen
I was wearing it. I think that weekend maybe.
Yeah.
It's black. It's got a little detail down there.
Yes, has it got little stitching?
And it's got a lovely lining. But
it's how you feel in it when you're on stage as well. But so I did treat myself to that. So it's an excuse, isn't it? Really,
it is.
That gig
tax deductible.
Yeah,
yes, please.
I mean, the children went without food for a week.
I get like
mad
ideas. Like the gig I did the other day. I asked if they had a radio mic, like a headset mic.
Are you going to start?
About 5 minutes before I was going on, though.
I've never used one.
And no, I have never used one. In my life, I've not even tried one on.
The balls of that.
And I said
you come out like McIntyre. Hello.
I'd love to see your stuff delivered with a bit.
I just thought I'd like to have my hands
skipping around the stage.
It's like you reinvent yourself.
Jean-Michel Jarre
for the biggest gig. It's like when Edinburgh's coming up, always like, I'm going to just change my style.
Yeah, totally. It's going to be more animated, do more stories.
Yeah. I remember doing a preview, like trying to be like Sebastian Maniscalco. Have you seen him?
Well, I've seen
he's so physical,
he's so
like Lee
big.
Evans.
Yeah.
Right.
be so physical. And I remember doing a preview, trying to do all that. Like, what was I doing? Like a week before Edinburgh. Just do what you do, mate.
Julian really needs to back off the crack. It's not.
I actually asked the sound guy, and he was out gonna get me a headset mic.
Oh,
and I just went, oh no, I'm just going mad. Just leave it. I think I'm going mental.
Do you know what? I always think with those though, you'd walk out and you'd go,
totally.
hello, and you'd be like, take your fist down, mate. You don't need your fist.
I did a gig though the other day, Fiona Ridgewell's down near Portsmouth, and they didn't have the mic didn't work.
Oh, that's the worst.
And everyone's panicking, but I went out there and it was actually nice.
You just did it without the mic.
And I just felt really free and stuff. It was good.
But do you not feel I speak quite quietly, so I can't project.
It wasn't a massive room, but it was quite a good acoustically.
Okay. I Brian blessed it me right from the diaphragm.
I've not got that sort of. My wife said to me yesterday about an acting tip. We discussed these things, and she was saying about the trick to projecting is to speak with with the voice you would say if your toddler was about to run into the road. Which is quite dark, but it's a very good acting.
Yeah. So what? So so bless But there's nothing you can say.
Because when you're delivering a nice soliloquy.
You can't.
Hi, everyone.
There's nothing you can say though in that moment because you can't say car. You're just screaming.
Yeah.
I don't know
it's
if
about
that's is that a genuine tip?
That's where you want it to come from.
The guttural.
Yeah, that sort of moment where your voice, you're not in control of the volume. It's just loud.
You really channeled your internal grief there, Carl.
And shit your pants as well.
Singing lessons will be good.
I'd love to do singing lessons.
I've had one once. Yeah.
What sort of a voice have you got though?
Well, no, I don't know. I can't sing.
Really? What did they teach?
Well,
breathing.
I was in a band and I had to do a backing singing, but I had a singing lesson the day of the gig.
Classic Julian Deane.
And
can I have a wireless mic?
Everything is a panic, isn't it?
Do you know what? I'm going to play the bass. Just as you're getting introduced.
Just about to bring out. You got any juggling balls? Quick.
In fact, you all piss off.
I've got any white doves and a hat.
Stuffing one up.
I want to do an open with a new bit.
But yes. So how was the singing? So what they teach you?
I was awful.
There's a lot to do with
I just laid on my
breathing.
back and it was just the breathing and that was it. It was like an hour. And then I did the gig and I didn't even mic test. I came in for the backing sing and ruined it. I was rubbish.
I've done one. Have you done karaoke? You must have done karaoke.
Yeah.
Do you know, I did one karaoke. It's not really me. I'm not a big fan of it, but I did one. And I did Come On Feel the Noise, Slade.
Okay, that's a good
And
shout.
I think I've got a very similar register to Noddy Holder.
Yeah, but really? He had an amazing range.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. That sounds really arrogant.
When
I had to go at doing Noddy Holder, I think I was better than him.
You know, I was actually on the same level as one of the great glam rock singers.
He's a genius.
He's amazing.
Oasis covered that.
You forget Slade
underrated,
massively.
Yeah.
Like Led Zeppelin was touring with Slade and stuff. Like they were the Slade were a proper
band. I suppose
band.
you think of them as like a Christmas song.
Well, they got
that was
that.
It. But they were a band before that, before the sort of big silly, glam look, and afterwards.
And he's capable of moments of tenderness. Some of those songs like My Oh My and that are amazing songs, like, do you know what I mean? And then, but yeah, I only did that, and it was in like I remember it's like in a British Legion place.
Yeah.
And it was years ago, but like it was like that
anyone
world.
Else there,
No, there was. It was like a Christmas party. I think it was something to do with Gemma's work, and I put my name down and did it. And it was
Gemma lighted about. Oh, please.
She was like, "Please stand up, 'cause this is worse than anything." But it was like club. You know, like Clubland still exists.
Yeah.
You know, you forget. And it's like being frozen in time. It's like preserved in aspic or something. It's amazing. And what's wonderful about it is that like you walk in there and there's like posters going like incredible male vocalist, David something. It does, and then all these and they've still got the same setup.
Yes,
it's like all the tech's amazing. Because it's like from them days, and it was like one of those proper like stop for pie and peas.
Did you do a good job?
I thought I did a good job. Someone came up to me afterwards and went, "Oh, really good." That.
Did you not have that thing that happens with most people at karaoke when they're like, I don't want to do it, and the moment they sing one, they're like, I want to sing 100.
Don't make me sing. I'm going
to double down. I'm going to do the Doors, the end, a 21.5-minute version. But no, I thought it was good. I think probably on reflection it wasn't. It was late, but there's a bit of a karaoke's a very different energy, isn't it? If you get it right, people are like...
People love it.
I'd be doing it all the time.
I don't know, have I told it on here, but when I was in New Zealand, I was doing a thing called the Comedy Convoy in New Zealand, which is like sort of a tour you do after the comedy festival with loads of comics. They take you around the country.
Yeah.
And we went around the South Island, and it was me, Marcus Birdman, and 3 Kiwi comics who were all brilliant. Paul Ego, Justine Smith, and Jared Fell, who's a comedy magician who's really good. Yeah. Really cool. And me and Jared had a real like bromance on it, because the other 3 were sort of, it wasn't long after Marcus's first stroke, so he was obviously going to bed quite early and keeping it a bit sort of safe.
Being boring.
The other 2 just aren't real boozers or anything, so they were going, we'd finished a gig in some random town in the middle of the South Island of New Zealand. They'd all go home and me and Jared would just go on the piss, basically, because we were like, we were similar age and we were just having a bit of a party.
We ain't had a stroke, you know what I mean? We're all right.
So we went out one night, we were in this dodgy like town, and we
looking for action.
Yeah, well, we were just looking for something to do. We walked into this bar and it was a karaoke bar.
Wow!
But there was, apart from us, there was only one group in there. Ooh. But it was 20 people from a bike gang, right? And they were all sat along the side. Turns out, we found out afterwards.
You serenaded them.
Yeah. So it was quite a notorious bike gang. But we just were like pissed up. We'd done a gig, so we just started drinking, and then we were like, "Do we sing? It'd be weird if we sing, because they're just taking it in turn to do songs." And then we've either got to not sing or really go for it.
Yeah, or blow them out of the water,
or just sort of just make them go like, all right, and almost like join them essentially. So we did we did a duet and to them, which was "Boys to Men, I'll Make Love to You." And like literally, because it was wireless mics, we went over to where they were sitting, and we went basically along the group, and they fucking loved it.
Amazing.
They genuinely was like found it very amusing, and
then they locked the doors.
Yeah. Long story short, we're not going back to that town, but no, they were lovely. We ended up sort of having a laugh with them and welcomed us into their team.
Wow, that sounds like it's almost like a mating ritual. The singing,
and then you mated.
Well, they mated with us.
You sort of dissipated the tension through song. It really does heal divisions, doesn't it?
It was lovely.
Yeah. Wow,
it was a lovely moment of
and ironically,
2 groups joining together.
Well, ironically, doing comedy would have made them angry.
100%.
So it's 2 ends of the same spectrum.
Yeah.
But singing Boys to Men was nice.
I got shouted at on stage on Saturday night.
How
aggressively.
Really? You've met some of the angriest people in comedy audiences. I think they genuinely go along thinking you can heal them. Yeah. And then they get there and they realise they can't, and then they're really annoyed.
Yeah, this guy was apparently he was running the club night in the venue after the comedy. It was a new venue for an established comedy chain, and I was closing, and so I got introduced on at 20 to 10, doing 20. The show finishes at 10, and then the thing sets up. What's happened there? Did the light go off? But it's fine, we'll carry on. And basically it turns out he'd been told it was finishing at 9:45, so I'm on stage. I was having a great gig for like 10 minutes, and next thing some nutters shouting and telling me to get off stage, and like apparently he was just like, he kicked off that he didn't have his 15 minutes to set up the chairs. And like he thought I was the problem. He thought it was like my gig or something. It was, I didn't know you existed, mate, until you started shouting.
It is amazing when you turn up at venues sometimes and the audience think you run the gig.
Have
you had that before? I've had it before where someone's come up and gone, "Sandwiches aren't as good this week." I don't do the catering.
I know.
Well, can you sort out the bar? There's a big queue there. Like, it's drafty.
Come off stage, jump behind the bar.
Just like, how many roles do you think I'm doing?
Yeah. They think you're all the comedians that are there at every show as well.
Yeah.
So like, are you here every week? What do you think?
Have you ever told you this is I only thought about this the other day. Like, I've only ever had one encore, right?
Right.
Ever. Right, and the only reason I mention it is because it's not bragging, because this takes the shine off it, right? So they brought me back on. I can't remember who it was. It might have been one of Agraman's gigs. Do you remember Agraman?
I do remember in Hull and stuff.
Hull, it was like a lovely bloke. Yeah, it's been going years, hasn't it? And it was like Beverly or somewhere, and like they got me back on. So I did another 5 minutes or something. Then I said, "Thank you very much. This has been the first time. I never take this for granted." Blah blah blah. Walked out and I saw a guy in the car park. And he went, "Oh, I've just seen you in there." I went, "Yeah." He went, "Yeah, it was really good, that." He says, "Although, because you went back on, you've pushed me into the next price bracket for the parking.
Oh, what?
He was pissed off with me. I was like, well, do you want £2, mate? I had to pay my way out my own encore. Just, people are odd, aren't they? They don't see that sort of division. You feel like...
Have you ever seen an encore where by the time the encore takes so long to arrange that by the time the act comes out, the audience don't really want it anymore? I've seen it.
There was a guy that died in his encore.
Who's that?
At the store. He got an encore and bombed in it.
Really? You got him back,
I think I
heard about that years ago.
I encored Mickey Flanagan once, and it just took too long. And he came back out, and they'd just lost that momentum, and then he just made it funny that like, well, this is pointless, isn't it? I've come out, and actually now it's sort of undermined the
I had an encore as an open spot, and they're trying to get me. I didn't have any more jokes. So I couldn't go back on.
But you had
I was like, no. And I was like, the headliner act.
Unpacking the mic stand.
No, he went, I'll use my wire. I'll just do it. Bring in the doves.
Give me some
So what did you do?
I didn't go on. I just didn't do it.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah. But the headliner act, because I was on in the middle just doing 6 minutes. It was Adam Bloom, actually. He's come off stage to get me back on.
Right.
And I was like, no, I've got no jokes.
Yeah.
I had nothing left. That was everything I had.
That would have been so honest, wouldn't it? Just reading through receipts.
I would have ruined their night if I'd have gone back on. All right. I would have said nothing.
Man. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. It's such
I
a
get
weird
encores
job.
all the time, though.
Do you not think what makes this job weird is that it's so low at fi? Like, it's just a man and a mic, or a female mic, whatever, a comic and a mic, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it like they'll put gigs on anywhere. Because it doesn't need that much of a setup.
It's low maintenance, isn't it?
So low maintenance.
Like a band has to have equipment, a van, and
nightmare.
fucking
drugs.
It's hassle. Yeah.
Whereas comics just like stick it, walking into an abattoir.
You could do it without a mic. You could do it you could go in someone's house and do it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
But that's why I think also, like, people don't think of it as, people would assume, you just work here or something like that. I do think because it looks like low maintenance.
Yeah.
People assume it can't be that hard.
You do this full time, do you?
Yeah, exactly. Whereas literally any old cunt can pick up a guitar and walk down the street with it. And I was like, oh, someone's in a band. It's like there's a sort of kudos to the fact because that is a skill that everyone knows they can't do. But we just talk.
Yeah.
Which everyone can do, within reason.
Straight off the street.
I know, but they don't realise it's still something you have to learn.
Totally.
It takes huge talent.
Yeah. I don't know why I found that a bit sarcastic, even though it is essentially true. I suppose we're all thinking of comics who've somewhat ridden on other skills. We'll
name them in our Patreon.
We'll write. Should we release a list on our Patreon? There's not. I'm not. I'm very. I like most comedians.
Yeah, I think everyone's just trying to get where they want to be.
I'm also incredibly easy to please. I'm a good audience member.
Oh yeah.
I can laugh at any old shit. Like sort of. It's weird. If I'm in the room, I'll laugh at anyone, anything. I'll laugh at the crappiest sort of like, stuff you'd ever see. But if somebody sent me a clip of it and I was at home and I'd be like, this is shit. Like, it's something about, I love live entertainment. So if I'm in the room, fuck man, I'll literally enjoy any. I've never been one of the people that will stand at the back of a gig thinking this is crap.
Just analysing it, good. You can see where this is going.
I've never analysed stuff when I'm watching it. When I'm watching it live,
you just enjoy it in the moment. I
totally commit to it and I love it.
That's good. I wish I can't. Sometimes I overact. When you're watching another stand-up, like you're like, oh, that was funny, like, but you don't laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I'm a bit like that.
They are the worst.
I saw Colin Holt actually at the weekend with him. He was cracking me up, man.
Yeah.
Oh, was Anna Man?
Yeah,
brilliant.
But he was cracking me up backstage.
Yeah, so funny.
So funny.
So funny.
Like, he come off stage, and he was in the full drag and stuff, and he said, and as he's taking his makeup off, he turned into like a bouncer kind of character. He went, well, you think this is a fucking joke? He's like, I've got to feed my fucking kids. Started taking his lipstick off.
Brilliant.
I was crying so much. I had to go on. I had to go on at the end, and I had to compose myself.
It's hard,
I kept thinking about it. It was like, is this a fucking joke to you? Like, suddenly just switched into this. Like,
I love that because that character as well. He's built like a world.
So
it's like you're in his world.
He's such a good actor, man.
Yeah,
like,
he's very good.
So talented. Yeah.
So funny.
Because me and Sean Walsh have often talked about if we do a gig together, and we have a real laugh backstage, often we find the gig suffers in that we've almost used it up backstage. We sort of,
I know what you mean.
because you go on and the gig isn't as fun
that,
when you're.
I have funner gigs like that, weirdly.
But I find actually I think I do better at gigs when the backstage is a little bit more just normal chat and just everyone's just.
I think I do better when it's really tense.
Yeah, really.
People like rivalries and people just stare. Then I go out and go, I need to sort this out mentally. And
just
then
one old bitter wanker. couple of newbies who are on everything. You can
I like
see
having
them.
a laugh before the gig, though.
I like having a laugh, but
I
I'm
think
talking.
it gets me out on my head.
But
a
I'm
bit.
talking times when it gets too much and you're all fucking really going for it, and suddenly
you peaked in the car.
Yeah, I can run out of steam.
I think it's because you go out there too relaxed as well.
You're not hitting them at their vibe.
You go out there, you go out there
yeah.
just going like, well, everything's going to be funny. We say now, and then they just go, no, get on with it.
Do your actual
what are you
jokes.
doing, mate? You spent 10 minutes walking about.
Yeah.
Just going, oh, look at this, curtains are good here.
Doing callbacks to the joke you did backstage.
We were just chatting.
I just should have heard what we were just talking.
You know, we were talking about the fridge in there. The fridge has got some history, I tell you. I think you go through that point as a comedian sometimes where you like think anything I say I can make funny.
Absolutely.
And then you go up there and they just go, what are you doing, mate?
Totally.
They look at you like you're having a breakdown.
I did new stuff at Top Secret last Wednesday, and I'd been on a run of good new stuff. Like I'd been doing loads of new stuff and writing a new show and all that, and like I was just really felt like everything I'm writing at the minute is working.
I'm in a purple patch.
And I just went and did 10 minutes of new stuff, and just one bit was crap. Like proper, like, you know, when you're just saying it and halfway through saying it you're like, no, I've just worked out this is crap as well. And you just finish
you both
it.
come to the same point together.
You're on their side.
Yeah.
It's good.
And it was only like a 2-minute bit.
Yeah.
But fun, and like
It's
it stood out so much against the rest of the stuff. And luckily it's a new material night.
What was crap about it?
It was just the premise wasn't very the premise wasn't tight enough to warrant a bit.
Yeah.
And like and then I just felt like I was just talking it through.
It's good to do that.
And then I just sort of literally said to them, that bit was shit. And then we just carried on. It was fine.
But they laughed, obviously.
Of course they laughed, yeah, because the stuff before it was funny.
Yeah.
And worked.
I think I always think with comics, like I always thought about this. It's so brutal. It's like unlike music and stuff. If you have a play a song that no one likes, they just sit through it. With comedy, they go,
they hate you.
They hate you, but then
they
also
go laughing or they hate you.
But also, it's like he died. It's not like he struggled, died, and that's like how fatal.
Singers don't die when they have a bad gig.
People think like, oh, they were just a bit off. Like they couldn't be, but they couldn't be asked.
Die.
He died. He literally. There was no hope. There was no resurrection. He died. It was final.
Dead forever.
Dead. Shit gone. No redeeming qualities.
Funeral.
Death.
R.I.P.
You just don't get that in any other job. Like plumber came round, put the bathroom in.
Yeah.
How was it? Died on his arse, mate. There was spanners everywhere.
Paul McCaffrey's very good at when he has a bad gig, sort of group WhatsApp, just texting his time of death. It's so funny. I love it.
Dead on arrival.
just records a sends it as a voice note.
Family are grieving.
Just a couple of flower emojis. A little gravestone. It is an awful feeling, and I think the worse than I can embrace a death.
Yeah, I think there's a difference in a death where it is just and that sort of apathetic.
That's worse.
Bad
when
gig.
you're wrestling with them.
When
it's
you're
a
fighting
death,
for it.
Yeah.
I bombed once at, do you remember that gig in Liverpool?
Baby Blue.
Yeah.
Everyone's bombed there.
Yeah. You were comparing. You were doing all right. And
I think that's because I brought him on going, he wants a fucking radio mic. I don't know who this twat thinks he is.
I went on. I think I was on first, wasn't I? And I was thinking the audience was a bit weird. Felt like they all just come from a funeral kind of vibe. And I went on and thinking,
Sounds like they're about to go to one.
They just witnessed a death. But I just couldn't. I don't know. It was weird. It was so. It was almost like I'm being pranked.
Yeah.
It's a notoriously hard gig that was, though.
I used to love that gig.
It
Though.
wasn't-
That was one of the last nights.
It wasn't as bad as I heard when I first went to do it, I was all geared up for like a battle, and actually it was just a bit rough and a bit like you got sort of people that were there a bit too made up for a night
the other
out.
acts did bomb as well, didn't they? Do you remember?
Yeah.
All three of us just tanked.
That's the dream, though. When the whole lineup tanks, that's when that's when it's funny.
Do you stay around if you tank though? I sort of stay around and watch and go, I want to know if it's me.
Yeah.
Then watch someone else take the roof off and you go,
I bombed at a festival once, and as I was leaving, the act after me was on. I could hear him smashing it.
Oh yeah. I had that.
And you're just trying to run away from that sound.
What festival was
It was
that?
Hope Festival. I think it was Henning.
How ironic.
And Bob Dylan was on, and like fucking the Eagles and all this.
Have you ever done Bug Jam?
No.
Bug Jam is like where just loads of people who love VW cars and vans go.
Right.
One of the weirdest groups of people you'd ever perform to. I went out to the comedy tent, and it was about 95% middle-aged, bald, white blokes.
Oh, so because I think that would have been a good booking because you're sort of quite hip, appeal to the hipster vibe. I thought that would be quite good, but they're not those people.
No, it was all just like old blokes who loved it. Hey, this is my Beatle, mate. I'd done it up years ago, right? And then basically, I thought they'd be all right though. Like they're sort of, everyone was doing all right. But it was all like acts who were doing something a bit on top of. You know, it was like Raymond and Timkins went on and did all right. And so no one had gone on and just really done hey, here's a few stories and a few jokes. I went on and fucking smelt the room out.
How long did you have to do it?
Like 20, 25.
That's a long time.
And it was just treading
to stink
water.
a tent out.
Yeah, treading water, just watching a bunch of bald blokes look at me going, what is he on about? You know, like that sort of look.
Yeah, it's that
look
sort
of
of...
what are you talking about?
I think there's some... What? They look at you like you're Eddie Izzard or something.
Yeah.
What are you why is he talking about himself?
But I will say, it wasn't like there was titters. Because I remember Mike Gunn was on after me, and he was really annoyed what he said, it wasn't a bad enough death for him to really revel in. Like he said he actually was watching, I know there was some people laughing, but I thought it was a death. But then he went on after me, and I watched him just crush it, man. Like,
really? He did well.
Well, yeah, I mean, he looked like one of them, innit? Looked like one of them had put a suit on and walked on stage, and they loved him. And Mike's a brilliant comic as well, by the way. But like, I mean, it felt like he was bang on for them, just proper, they were like, he's just fun. He's doing jokes, whereas I was on stage going, like, right, you ever been to a Subway sandwich shop? Like,
most bad, like the bombs I've had, one or two. And,
a week.
One or two a night, like a few times, but like it's been a lot of it's been me though. I've put it on a.
Obviously, it's you.
But I kind of I've been too much in my head, my timing, my dry mouth, speeding up, or.
Yeah.
But that one in up north, I couldn't because I was relaxed.
Yeah.
I thought I'd get them. You know when you're confident you're going to get them. No, and then this bit, no, and then that bit, no again.
Sometimes though, it's like an abusive relationship because then you acknowledge you're struggling, then they laugh, and you go, you can't do that because now you're just reveling in my internal
not to do
pain.
that too early on though, because you can only do that
That's
once.
one trick in it. Well, it isn't going very well.
At the end, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it too late either because it was the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think when it's a bad gig as well, though, because we've all had those rough gigs. I think as I'm doing this longer, I feel I've got less inclination to fight for a gig.
Yeah,
100%.
So I used to do ones, and I remember when I first started, just doing any of them, and then I did one for like a trucker night or something, and they put normal comedy on, but they gave me like a mic, and I was literally tethered. I was like being like a dog tied up outside a shop. Do you know when you're like on a really short lead?
Yeah.
I was pinned against the DJ box, and they hated me. And it was like I could just like every now and then just hear a feedback. Do you know what I mean? That's sort of like
I hate that noise.
Little bit of you dies inside, and then I had to go to get out. I had to walk through them, and I remember like I was walking. There was two guys walking down the corridor, and they started discussing me, and you almost have to go. Behind you.
Guys.
Please, guys. I know we went past.
Pause that conversation.
Just wait till yeah, you have to go. Then you brace yourself. What was he like? Oh God, here we go again. It's all your childhood's memories start flashing back.
Oh man, nothing worse than going for a piss.
That feedback sound only happens when you're bombing for some reason.
I know. Well. But have you ever been in the cubicle after your set and heard two guys being
say why you in our cubicle?
Yeah, and you can never leave.
No, not at all.
That's why I
sitting on a toilet being sad for a bit.
I always put a bobble out in my bag. now.
Yeah.
Because I look at a gig and think this could be a bobble act gig. And then if it's like really bad, I do the full Groucho Marx glasses.
He was crap when he was dog shit.
It was dog shit.
What time's a comedy on? Have a good night, lads.
Crying behind the mask.
Tears coming down over your fake tash.
Start doing like Usual Suspects with a limp and stuff. Really getting into roles.
As you walk to your car, your hands straightened.
The masks during COVID has been a real liberation
for bombing comedians.
I now bomb every gig and just walk out happy as Larry.
Oh yeah, that is true, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a great little.
Why do we talk about it though? Because it brings it into the room, doesn't it?
I know. I hate talking about bombing before I'm going on.
Yeah.
You just create it.
Yeah, but no, it's fine here. We're in a safe space.
Yes, it's very
safe space.
It's like an AA meeting.
We should talk about your podcast.
Thank you.
You're doing a new podcast.
We are, and you guys, I mean, you're crushing it. Do you know what I mean? You've got good chemistry and stuff. I think it's quite hard to get a podcast. I've started one with Gemma, my wife, and I think that's quite good in two respects.
Clips. It looks great.
Yeah, the interesting thing is I did say to her, we can never split up now.
No.
And that's the only problem, innit? When you have a podcast.
You should have probably agreed that at your wedding as well.
That's what I mean, Paul, haven't hooked up.
If you think the marriage vows are important, there's Patreon riding on this shit, so we've got to go and renew again. I promise to honour your £3 a month. But the problem is, if you're not careful, you bring that tension into the pod.
Yeah.
So you have
That'd be quite entertaining, though.
I don't know if people want to see a marriage breakdown.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm not saying we're going to do that.
No.
But
not that I want it to break down, but
but yeah, if we
people want real though,
yeah, I know what you mean. So the honesty's there, and I think it's one of those like you forget. Like I think working with another comedian is quite rare. You two complement each other brilliantly, and you sort of get on. But I think it's quite a big ask sometimes to do. I bet there's loads of podcasts out there where a comedian's got another comedian and gone, oh, it's going to be brilliant, and they've sat opposite each other and gone, oh God. This is not working.
Also, I think it's
just do Pornhub if that doesn't work out.
But I think it's that weird thing where normally comedians we're solo artists, aren't we? We're solo. That's all.
Yeah.
So I do think if you team up with someone, you've got to be on a similar.
Absolutely.
Sort of mental. Like we're both not. Like, neither of us are too stressy about the podcast. We're not going to get on each other's back if you can't regard. I'm busy the next few days. I can't do it. No one's going to go, fucking mate, come on, we've got to pull ourselves together. We're both.
This is a business.
We're both lazy, is what I'm saying. We're both incredibly lazy.
Right. Yeah.
And we sort of go with each other on that.
But yeah, you've got obviously commitments. I've got like so. You know what I mean? If we can't do it, we can't do it.
We treat it's a very laid back, working relationship.
I mean, this was the thought because Gemma's actually really comedically. She's really on it. So like she's
really funny. Man.
Yeah, and we met through a love of comedy.
Okay.
So when we were at uni, we met at Loughborough Uni, where all the magic happens. And we had no telly in his room back then. It was like 97 or something. And it was like the time where you would meet in a common room. It sounds like I'm talking from the prehistoric
you said like in 1997 we didn't have televisions, guys.
We started courting.
We met in the music halls.
Our parents introduced us.
I remember we went to see the Goon show, and she came out
at the local BAP.
And we went to the BAP. We went to the Hop. And she stood over a gate and her petticoat blew up. And I went over, I asked her mum and dad for a hand in marriage and took her home in the Cadillac. I don't know what life that is. And then obviously the war happened and we were split up.
I mean,
we wrote letters for 3 years.
But so you didn't have a telly?
We didn't. No, I didn't have a telly in my room. Neither she did. And we went down to the common room bit.
To nick a telly.
No, they had Shooting Stars on, and they used to put I'm Alan Partridge on the first series.
Right.
So it was that. Have a few pints. Watch that, and then we got.
Did you know you wanted to be a comedian at that point?
No. We got chatting because she got an amazing laugh, like a proper big laugher, like so obvious she's laughing. And I sort of went over, and we got chatting.
You thought she laughed at something you said?
I thought this she's laughing a lot here, so this is someone that I need in my life because
I need her close.
I need someone who makes me feel good about
to me.
my miserable existence, you know. But then, so she was really funny and really and then we got chatting because her mate had moved into my halls.
Yeah.
And then we got chatting, and she said, "Oh, I'm moving into your block tomorrow," and then that was it. Then we just sat chatted, and then we started going to see comedy and stuff. So we went to see a few gigs and stuff, and then
courting.
So doing a podcast together is just probably an obvious thing. Yeah. And she's sort of really cool. So it's called Brew With The Bennetts, BWT Pod. on Twitter and all that nonsense. And we just meet up like an hour every week.
Meet up.
Well,
In the
Makes it
kids'
sound much more formal.
It's weird because you haven't really got time when you've got children. And stuff,
If you've got your set
passing each
time, you
other.
do it.
So we do it on a Monday, but obviously because I'm here today for you guys, we're doing it tomorrow. So we're flexible.
Yeah.
So we do it. Sort of sit down for an hour, just have a chat, and then it's been great. It's been really good, and she just genuinely quite relaxed, quite funny, and I think it also. Because there's a female voice on there, it stops it going a little bit. Not that it's gonna do. I'm not really a lad.
I mean, we are guilty of that.
But it's amazing. That's natural, though, isn't it?
Mate.
The testosterone's natural.
Fucking alphas.
I mean, we're absolutely like full of testosterone.
Like lions.
Did you ever get your testosterone tested?
I did, yeah.
What was the results?
It was a 6.
You failed.
It's 665, which
What's
is
that mean?
Which is high.
Hi.
What's the
High
what's
test.
the
You got
average?
4 bollocks or something.
Just got a thick. No.
What's the average?
Between 400 and 600 for
You
a
got
male.
665.
Yeah.
Wow. I might get mine done just to.
What is that?
Because if it is low, all you do, you just get TRT and it brings it up.
Right.
Yeah, so it's easy and you feel better and
My-
your mind's better, your skin, your heart, you'll feel
Really?
energy. Yeah.
Well, if your testosterone's high.
Yeah.
I've lost a testicle though, so I'm screwed. I'm at 300, aren't I?
Yeah.
Before I even
Just straight off the bat.
Have you looked for it? Or?
Yeah, it's gone, mate.
Where is it made?
No, but
is
that
it made
doesn't.
in
I
your...
don't know if that means.
I don't know if it halves your testosterone.
I don't
might
think
just-
it
I don't
does.
reckon it would.
Maybe it's just in. It's
got
under the
energy.
arm
The other one
instead.
might just
If you-
bulk
if you-
up.
Redistribute. Doing all the hard work,
I'd
doing the
get
heavy
it
lifting.
tested. I'm pretty sure it's not.
I might get tested, you know.
I mean,
might get
I got it
tested.
done privately. It's
Where?
about in Blackheath Hospital.
But what use has it got?
Because a lot of people go to the doctor, they're feeling a bit low and a bit energy. The doctor will the thing that the doctors go to is like antidepressants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But often it's men's testosterone's down.
Do you know what also affects
I was
your
hoping mine was
testosterone?
down a little bit, then I could get a thing in and feel great. But
It turns out you're just depressed.
turns out I've just got shit going on. I just went there because I watch a lot of fitness stuff and they're always talking about their levels and things. And I was like, I wonder what mine is. I was just curious.
It's like Ivan Drago.
But your sleep pattern affects your
And stuff like that.
Does
yeah.
it?
Yeah, just get your sleep in, lads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she balances it, is what I'm saying. But also, is what I've noticed is because there's so much honesty in the relationship, she will literally kill stories off.
Oh, right.
So I'll be saying something. She went, "No, never. That never
really?
happened. That."
Quite nice.
It's quite nice, but she'll just go, "Come on,
It is like the
It's
voice
funny.
of
Stop being a
reason.
prick.
My
Like-
wife listens to this podcast
Right.
to check in on me.
Right.
And often she like, very rarely, she's got quite a dark sense of humour. So it's very hard for me or us to ever say anything that she'd be like, come on. But there was one recently where we did get a little bit
What were we talking
light-hearted, talking about the Louis C.K. allegations.
Oh, what, on here? Or?
Yeah, and it was on the
yeah.
Christmas. I think it was the Christmas Day episode that we released.
How festive!"
I know. We weren't joking about. We were just sort of. I think we were joking around the subject,
Right.
And then she just said she didn't have an issue, but she said you might get a few messages.
But we
saying that.
didn't, though, did we?
No, we didn't. That's because our listeners don't give a fuck, mate.
Yeah.
They like what Louis did. No, right.
But it's good. It's good to have a. It's good to have a.
Someone's got to
balance.
say it.
Oh, this is the Patreon section. Is it? Clip this.
No, that'll be public.
But yeah, it's good to have like a barometer. So yeah, we're
Yeah.
enjoying it at the moment. Early days though, but everyone's got a podcast. I reckon.
I know.
I reckon now if you're a comic, right, and you go like they go, have you
That's
got a
like
podcast?
everyone's got an Edinburgh show as well,
but
isn't they? It's
I reckon they
all-
just
this
give
room.
you one now. Like if you say
Yeah.
I'm a comic,
Yeah,
you got a
yeah.
podcast? No, here you go, fishing.
Yeah.
It's like a careers officer at school, isn't
yeah.
it? What do you like? I quite like trains. Do train podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
They just give you one and you have to do it.
It's the way forward, isn't it?
It does feel mad, like to not do because we have got a lot of free time as well. Like as you know, I mean, not a load if you've got kids and everything, but
No,
you've
there's a lot
still
of
got more free
downtime.
time than people who work for a living.
Like
Totally.
people think I'm really busy and stuff, like, and I'm like, I've laid down for 6 hours just now.
Getting me testosterone
Like
up.
someone the other day was like, I go to the gym most days.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
you're so disciplined. I'm like, no, I'm not. I've got loads of shit to do.
Yeah.
I'm here because
In a
I'm not disciplined.
These biceps is procrastination. That's what
It's true.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think it's it's like a therapy thing, though. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it's one of those where it gives everyone wants a little bit more than what you're saying on stage. I think.
Well, I think that's the thing. Nowadays, if people see you and they like your comedy,
it's real talk.
It gives them another thing to go. Oh, go and see what they're like behind that. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a nice little peek behind the curtain.
Precisely.
Very few comics are totally different on their podcast to on stage. You know what I mean? Very rarely would you see someone really like their comedy. If you listen to their podcast, you'd be like, what a wanker. That'd be weird, isn't it?
Well, I always think as well, people don't bother with gigs now. They just go on each other's podcasts.
Yeah, it's true. That's what we do. It's like just sort of this weird fake economy. Everyone just popping around on each other's stuff.
Yeah, it's quite nice, though. It feels like a bit of a community, doesn't it?
It does, actually. We do have to wrap up though, just in the time. Thanks for coming in again live.
It's been lovely.
What have you? So people check out your podcast.
Yeah,
they can still watch your iPlayer Apollo.
iPlayer Apollo, it's on there. BWTB Pod.
Check out his hair flicking.
Hair flicking, yeah, that sweaty head. Look, if you'll see it. I had fans at one point around my neck just before I was about to go out.
Yeah.
Just put these two
you get
fans
close
on.
to your fans.
Yeah, but then I looked in the mirror and I thought, you wanker. I had these personal fans, and she was dabbing my hair like this, and I thought, you've changed.
Can you wear them on stage,
wanker.
the fans?
No, I probably should have done.
Would be funny. That'd be like, he's that fan guy. Have you
Imagine
seen the fan guy?
over the mic. So, good evening, Apollo. Just like blowing all the smoke continually. And I've
just
also
sort of fly on like a little helicopter.
just let him come on like that, hovering, little legs coming out of the seam like that. Oh dear, he's got his own drone, this lad, going over the top. Good evening, Hammersmith. I might do that next time. You could do that with your wired mic.
I'd love to. I'd love
to start doing the Madonna.
And I've also got a tour I need to plug.
Oh yeah, you've got a tour.
I've got a tour starting end of this year called
Lovely.
Great Scott, all over the country. If you go to scottbennettcomedy.co.uk, I'm just doing my favourite bits.
Very
First
nice.
proper tour. See how it goes. Everyone's on tour, though, aren't they?
I know.
Everyone, even my dad's on tour. Don't even do stand up. It's just turning up at
touring.
venues, selling shit out the back of a car.
Right.
Touring.
Thank you. Everyone, check all that stuff out.
Thank you.
Thanks to our listeners. Thanks to our patrons.
Thank you. To
Sign
our
up.
new YouTube subscribers.
YouTube.
It's different. We're off YouTube. We're on YouTube now.
YouTube. It's new. We got banned.
It's youtube.com/wearetvi.
Patreon.com/wearetvi for any extras. We do our extra stuff.
Hinge.com/Julian Deane.
For extra extras. You get a nosh job off Julian. Thank you, Scott.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you,
Thanks for
everyone.
coming down.
Bye.